Oh, hi students! Good morning everyone! I am actually observing an onion skin using this microscope. Later, I will let you see what an onion skin looks like under the microscope. Do you like that? Yes, of course. By the way, we are now in week 4 for this second quarter. At the end of our lesson, first, you must describe the parts and functions of the plant and animal cells. Second, you must differentiate plant and animal cells according to the presence or absence of certain organelles. And lastly, you must demonstrate how to focus a plant and animal cell specimen using the microscope. See, we have so many things to learn today. Isn't it amazing? By the way, let me check first if you still remember the lesson that you have learned last Facebook Live. I have here a simple game called Word Search by Word Wall. Our goal is to find the 5 words related to our topic last FB Live and highlight all the words hidden in the puzzle. The words may be placed horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. If you see the word, you can enter your answer in our comment section. Ready? Let us now start searching for these 5 words. Look to our puzzle. Do you see now those 5 words related to our topic last time? Let me see the comment section. And someone entered her answer and she said that the first word is tissue. Let's see if there's a word tissue in our word search. Yes, you got it right. The first word is tissue. Now, let us find the second word. It says here in our comment section, we have biosphere. Let's see. That's correct. We have biosphere. And how about our third word? Let me see again your answers. And we have here community. Terrific! I am glad that you really remember and learned well our lesson last time. Keep up the good work, students. Now, what could be our fourth word? Let us see. From our comment section, we have here organ. Let's find out if there's an organ in our word search. Very good. And our last word, what do you think it is? Okay, most of the answer from the word search is cell. Let us find out if there's a cell in our word search. Correct! The answer is cell. You are really learning a lot. Keep going, students. And to remind you again, the levels of biological organizations, take a look with this image. We have biosphere, ecosystem, community, population, organism, body or organ system, organ, tissue, and of course we have cell. For today's topic, we will be dealing with plant. One is plant cell, and we have animal cells. Question: have you seen a cell using your naked eyes? Of course not. We cannot able to see a cell without the use of microscope. Cells are everywhere. Think about that we breathe, that we do right now. Cells are the reason for that. When we walk like this, or when we walk down the street, cells are responsible for that too. We are made of cells. So, fasten your seatbelts. You are about to see a world that is all around you, yet so small that we probably have never seen it. A cell is the smallest unit of life. Yes, you heard it right. All organisms, big or small, are consist of cells. Can you imagine your body, our body, containing trillions of cells? To fit in our body, we have, or they have to be so small that thousands must be placed side by side to make a centimeter. Advances in technology have revealed that these very tiny cells have several parts performing various roles. All cells have three things in common, no matter what type of cell they are. All cells have cell membrane or plasma membrane. It encloses the cells and separates what is inside it from its environment. It also controls what goes into and out of the cell. The plasma membrane or cell membrane allows entry of materials needed by the cell and eliminates those which are not needed. What do you think will happen to our cell if the plasma or cell membrane does not function properly? The answer could be if the plasma membrane may not act correctly. The organelles may not be able to defend from the outside environment, and risky materials can enter the cell and cause cell damage. Cytoplasm. This one is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is like, or a gel-like structure where all the other parts of the cell are located. And the DNA, which is the cell's genetic material. These are the three things in common for all types of the cells: plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and DNA. There are hundreds of different types of cells, but there are two broad categories of cells that make up all living things. The first category is eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cells have organelles which include the nucleus and other special parts. We are made of eukaryotic cells. All humans and animals are. In fact, we aren't the only ones. Plants and animals and fungi also have eukaryotic cells. So what makes a eukaryotic cell so special? Well, the structure of our cell, because it is more advanced and complicated. And the second category for this is the prokaryotic cell. Unlike the complicated cells, or unlike the complicated eukaryotic cells, prokaryotic cells don't have a nucleus or membrane-enclosed organelles. They do have genetic material, but it is not contained in nucleus. Prokaryotic cell is always one cell or unicellular organism. A lot of bacteria out there are examples of prokaryotic cells. Now, what are organelles? The organelles of a cell are the internal parts that are responsible for the jobs of keeping the cell healthy and living. Each organelle has a specific duty. The word organelle means small organ or little organ, and do everything from protecting the cell, repairing, healing, assisting in growth, or getting rid of waste products, all the way to reproduction. Each organelle's job also depends on the other organelles. If any organelle stops doing its function, the entire cell will die. Now let's start with the nucleus. The nucleus is the control center, or the nucleus controls all the activities of the cell. It contains deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA, or also called as genetic material. DNA dictates what the cell is going to do. And how is it going to do it? Chromatin. The chromatin is the tangled, spread out form of DNA found inside the nuclear membrane. When a cell is ready to divide, DNA condenses into the structures known as chromosomes. The nucleus also contains a nucleolus, which is the structures where ribosomes are made. After ribosomes leave the nucleus, they will have the important job of synthesizing or making the protein. Outside the nucleus, the ribosomes and the rest of the organelles float around the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like substance. Ribosomes may wander freely within the cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, sometimes abbreviated as ER. There are two types of ER. Rough ER has ribosomes attached to it, and smooth ER doesn't have ribosomes attached to it. The endoplasmic reticulum is a membranous structure forming a network of canals through which proteins and other molecules are transported. Proteins and other materials emerge from the endoplasmic reticulum in small vesicles, where the Golgi apparatus, sometimes called the Golgi body, receives them. The Golgi apparatus is another membranous organelle forming a stack of flattened sacs located very close to the ER. As proteins move through the Golgi body, they customize in the forms that the cell can use. The Golgi body does this by folding the protein into usable shapes or adding materials onto them such as lipids and carbohydrates. Vacuoles are sac-like structures that store different materials. Here in this plant cell, the central vacuole is large and usually occupy more than half of the cell space. They play a role in storing nutrients and increasing cell size during growth. Vacuoles also store water, thereby maintaining rigidity to cells and provide support for plants to stand upright. Plant cell vacuoles are responsible for the crisp appearance of fresh vegetables. Meanwhile, vacuoles in animal cells are small and are called vesicles. They serve as storage of water, food, and function in the excretion of waste materials. How would vacuoles in plants serve as defense against animals that eat them? Vacuole in plant cell can store toxic substances to make the plant too poisonous to eat or to deter animals or plant eaters. Going back to the animal cell, you will see an organelle called a lysosome. Lysosomes are the garbage collector that take in damaged or worn out cell parts. They are filled with enzymes that break down the cellular debris. Again, this is a cellular debris. The mitochondria, or singular form mitochondrion, are organelles that is the powerhouse for both animal and plant cells. During a process called cellular respiration, the mitochondria make ATP molecules that provide the energy for all the cell's activities. Cells that need more energy, like our muscles, contain more mitochondria. Meanwhile, the cell maintains its shape through a cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is a network of thin and fibrous filaments that serve as the bones and muscles of cells. It contains the thread-like microfilaments, which are made of proteins, and microtubules, which are thin hollow tubes. Some organisms, such as plants, that are photoautotrophic, meaning they capture sunlight from energy. Plant cells have organelle called chloroplast. Chloroplast is where photosynthesis happens. It's green because it has a green pigment called chlorophyll. Plant cells also have a cell wall. Outside their cell membrane that shape, support, and protect the plant cell. Animal cells never have a cell wall. There are many other unique structures that only some cells have. Here are some those. In humans, for example, the respiratory tract is lined with cells that have cilia. These are microscopic hair-like projections that can move and waves. This feature helps trap inhaled particles in the air and expels them when we cough. Again, these are the microscopic hair-like projections called cilia. Another unique feature in some cells is flagella. Some bacteria have flagella. A flagella is like a little tail that can help a cell move or propel itself. The only human cell that has a flagella is a sperm cell. To summarize the differences between plant and animal cells, take a closer look at this table. Animal cell has plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi Apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, cytoskeleton, centrioles, and small vacuole known as vesicle, while animal cell has no cell wall and chloroplast. On the other hand, plant cell has plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, cytoskeleton, vacuoles, cell wall, and chloroplast, while it does not have centrioles. By the way, centrioles consist of rod-shaped structures, which are at right angle to each other and aids in the chromosome movement during cell division. It will be discussed further in your higher grade level. Once again, these are the different parts of plant and animal cells. Do you want now to see a real image of a cell, particularly plant and animal cells? At the beginning of our session, I said that I was observing an onion skin specimen. This time, I will let you see how you can observe an onion skin and cheek cell specimen. For an onion skin specimen, you will need the following materials: a microscope, glass slide, kitchen knife, be careful in using sharp objects, toothpick, pipette or dropper, cover slips, iodine solution, and of course, an onion. To prepare our specimen, first, we need to wash and peel the onion. Then slice the onion as thin as possible. Use the transparent skin from the inner surface of the onion. Use a toothpick to place the onion on the slide properly. And now, you put a small drop of iodine solution onto the onion. This will help us see the onion cell clearly. Cover now the specimen with the cover slip. Now, our onion specimen is complete and ready to examine under the microscope. As you can see, a large number of regularly shaped cells are aligned side by side. Each cell has a distinct cell wall. Also, we can see a distinct nucleus present in each onion cell. Let us now try to observe a human cheek cell using these following materials. Microscope slide, a 0.9% sodium chloride solution. We can also use, or we can use this instead of water. Toothpick, cover slips, methylene blue solution, microscope, and our cheek cell sample. For the preparation of this specimen, we need to place a very small drop of sodium chloride solution on the slide. Then, use a toothpick to get the cheek cell by swabbing it gently inside your cheek. Then place the sample on the slide simply by swirling the end of the toothpick around the sodium chloride solution. Then dispose the used toothpick properly. Then drop a small amount of methylene blue stain on the specimen for us to see the cheek cells clearly. And don't forget to place the cover slip on the specimen and avoid forming air bubbles. You can actually remove the excess liquid using a paper towel. To view and examine the specimen, we will be using a compound light microscope. I will show you different magnification of cheek cells. Here are the cheek cells at 100 times magnification. The blue dot is actually the nucleus of the cheek cell. Let us magnify the cheek cell into 400 times of their actual size. It is more clearly seen, and parts are more distinct compared to 100 times magnification. Lastly, let us view it under oil immersion objective that's set to 1,000 times magnification of the actual size. Do you see those little dots around the cell? Those are bacteria, particularly oral bacteria that thrive inside our mouth. Where do we get that? It comes from all the foods that we eat. So, to get rid of these bacteria, we must always clean our mouth by brushing our teeth and other parts of our mouth. Now, let me ask you this. How can you compare a cell or our cell to a school? A cell is like our school. Each part of the cell, like the school, has its certain responsibilities that must be done. Example, the cell membrane. The cell membrane of the cell controls what goes in and out of the cell. The school security system is similar to the cell membrane because it allows students and teachers in but keeps suspicious or dangerous people out. Another is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the inside of the cell that keeps all the organelles in place. The hallways and classrooms of a school can be compared to the cytoplasm because those are the inner parts of the school that keep the students and teachers in place. How about the nucleus, where we can compare its function to a certain part or staff of the school? Remember that the nucleus is the control center of the cell, right? So it is just right that a nucleus can be compared to the school principal because the principal controls the entire school. In summary, you have learned that the cell makes up all the organisms. And that organisms can be made up of just one cell or billions of cells. Also remember, eukaryotic cells are plant and animal cells with nucleus and membrane-enclosed organelles, while prokaryotic cells are unicellular organisms without a nucleus and membrane-enclosed organelles. You also learned the fundamental parts of the cells, which are cell membrane, cytoplasm, and genetic material. These parts play very important roles in the survival of cells. At this moment, I will choose 3 students who will play our game called Time to Climb by Nearpan. The 3 selected students must race to the top of the mountain against the clock by answering multiple choice questions. Here's how to do it. I will send you a link that will direct you to the game and you must enter the code. That code, I will send it to you. Once you enter the code, this one, you must type the abbreviation of your school together with your name like this. DTDL NHS Carla. As simple as that. And then, just wait for the game to start. The student who will answer all the questions correctly and first reach the top of the mountain will be the winner. Now, let me select the 3 students who will play the game. Okay, we have here our first player from Jed's National High School. We have Jane. And our second player is from Malinta National High School. We have Josh. And for our last player, we have from Dalandana National High School, Hervey. Okay, let me send first the link to our 3 players. Just wait. Okay, I guess we are all set. Who will make it to the top of the mountain with the highest correct answer? Okay, players, ready? Timer starts now. already have the winner. And our winner is from Jed's National High School. Congratulations, Jane from Jed's National High School. Job well done. Now it is our time, or it is your time to assess yourselves if you really learned a lot from today's lesson. You may answer your module from pages 19 to 21. Now we will have our question and answer. If you have something to ask, just type your question and enter in our comment section. Okay, so for our first question, this question is from a student of Mapulang Lupa National High School. Her question is chicken egg considered a cell? Wow, that's a good question. Well, the whole chicken, or the whole chicken egg, as in the whole yolk and egg white, is not a cell. A cell that big would never actually work because intracellular communication would take ages, far too long to be effective. While, is it true that an unfertilized egg contains a single egg cell? Okay? And for our next question, or second question, from Genti de Leon National High School. Ma'am, do you think whales, the largest mammals on Earth, have larger cells than humans, and why? That's a very interesting question. I don't think whales have larger cells than humans because there is no relationship between body size and cell size. It is known scientific fact that whales are the largest mammals on Earth, as their tongue alone can weigh as much as an adult elephant, and their heart weighs as much as a car. However, when it comes to cells, they only have more cells than we do. Okay? And for our last questions, from Bignay National High School. Ma'am, what is a cancer cell? Wow, that's a deep question. Cancer cells, or cancer, happens when cells that are not normal grow and spread very fast. Normal body cells grow and divide and know to stop growing. Over time, they also die. Unlike these normal cells, cancer cells just continue to grow and divide out of control and don't die when they are supposed to. Cancer cells usually grow or clump together to form tumors. A growing tumor becomes a lump of cancer cells that can destroy the normal cells around the tumor and damage the body's healthy tissue. This can make someone very sick. But if you know someone with this kind of illness, don't be afraid with them. Because cancer is not contagious. You can talk to, play with, and hug someone with cancer. And there you have it. I hope you learned a lot and had fun with today's lessons. Thank you for listening and participating in our class today. Godspeed, everyone.